Hey guys, it's Sun from Stories Untold Till Now, and today we are going to go on the deep end of the internet, where true crime meets digital code. While on my search to find content, I stumbled upon a website that talked about 11 YouTubers who turned into murderers. I'll not be talking about all of them, instead I'll talk about the 3 that shocked the YouTube community. A link in the description box will be made available so that you guys can read more. This topic may be hard to some, therefore, viewer discretion is advised. We start off at number 1. Elliot Roger. Elliot Roger was a YouTuber that joined the platform on July 23, 2012. Elliot's YouTube mainly consisted about him blogging about the life he wanted, namely how he wanted to have a girlfriend but didn't have much luck. Also, how unfair life was to him. In fact, his videos weren't even popular until he had committed the awful crime named the Isla Vista killings. His YouTube channel was deactivated on April 23, 2018, with a total of 20 videos. How could a 22-year-old turn to a vicious crime? Turns out, his younger life wasn't a typical childhood. According to his family's attorney and a family friend, Roger had seen multiple therapists since he was 8 years old. He was diagnosed with a pervasive developmental disorder, not otherwise specified, and autism spectrum disorder in 2007. Since then, there were a lot of unnamed issues that he needed help with, but failed to follow up with a therapist later in life. Now we turn to the day of the murders, May 23, 2014, Isla Vista, California. Elliot titled a video on YouTube named Elliot Roger's Retribution. I'll provide a link so you can check out the video. I cannot post the video on YouTube as it is against their guidelines. In the video, he speaks about how angry he is to be a virgin and how girls living in sorority row left him a virgin. How he can't wait to give the girls what they deserve as they rejected him. Not only that, he left a 106,000-word manifesto called My Twisted World to try to explain himself and why he was doing this. He believed that he was forced to take these vicious actions. This was posted before he committed the crimes. Elliot Roger killed 6 people and injured 14 others near the campus of University of California, Santa Barbara, before taking his own life. The attack began when 22-year-old Roger stabbed 3 men to death in his apartment. Afterwards, he drove to a sorority house and shot 3 female students outside, killing 2. He drove to a nearby deli and shot to death a male student who was inside. He began to speed through Isla Vista, shooting and wounding several pedestrians and striking several others with his car. Roger exchanged gunfire with police twice during the attack, receiving a non-fatal gunshot wound to the hip. The rampage ended when his car crashed into a parked vehicle and had come to a stop. Police had found him dead in the car while a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. It is extremely sad to see how lonely individuals could turn to horrific things and how it seemed like he was putting up a good act for a while. And when he wasn't able to get the help he so desperately needed, he unfortunately turned to crime. At the number 2 spot, we have Jared Lee Longner. Jared Lee Longner joined YouTube on October 25th, 2010. Surprisingly, his channel is still up today with numerous videos on his takes of religion, politics, and much more. His first video was posted on November 22nd, 2010, and his last video was posted December 15th, 2010. Comments on the videos are turned off. Trouble started for Jared in 2006 when he dropped out of high school. He was no longer the happy or nice Jared that everyone knew. He turned into more of a jaded adult now. He was in and out of jobs, and his first job noticed a severe personality change. Turns out the reason for all those changes was because of drugs. According to court records, Longner had 2 previous drug offenses. In October 2007, he was cited in Pima County for possession of drug paraphernalia, and on October 13, 2008, he was charged after defacing a street sign in Marana near Tuscan. Zach Ulcer, Jared's old close friend, stated that the drug use began when he broke up with his girlfriend. Zach stated that he used cannabis, psychedelic mushrooms, and LSD. He then began to abuse alcohol and other drugs, specifically Salvia divinorum, a natural hallucinogen. The U.S. Army deemed him unfit for service as he admitted to marijuana use several times in the application process. As I've said before, Jared has a YouTube channel where he describes his radical views on topics. It was noted that before the shootings, he was very vocal that women should not have power in office. He experienced his disdain for Representative Gabrielle Giffords. He had also believed in conspiracy theories about 9/11 and the New World Order. Now we turn to November 30th, 2010, where Jared allegedly bought a 9mm gun clock pistol the day before the shooting. On November 31st, 2010, he left a message on a friend's voicemail saying, "Hey man, it's Jared, me and you had good times, peace out, later." In a MySpace post the morning of the shooting, 4:12 a.m., he wrote, "Goodbye friends, please don't be mad at me. The literacy rate is below 5%. I haven't talked to one person who's literate. I want to make it out alive. The longest war in history of the United States. Goodbye. I'm saddened with the current currency and job employment. I had a bully at school. Thank you. P.S. Plead the 5th. Photos of the MySpace page show up a close-up picture of a handgun sitting on top of a document titled, United States history. At 7:04 a.m. MST time, Longner went to a Walmart store in the Foothills Mall to purchase ammunition, but left the store and completed his purchase at a Super Walmart on North Cortado Road at 7:28 a.m. He was stopped by an Arizona Game and Fish Department officer at 7:34 a.m. MST for running a red light, but once the officer determined there were no outstanding warrants for Longner, he was allowed to proceed to his destination with a warning to drive carefully. He then took a taxi to a Safeway supermarket location in Casas Adobes, where Giffords was holding a constituents meeting. The shooting occurred on January 8, 2011 at 10:10 a.m. MST. Longner allegedly opened fire on Giffords as well as numerous bystanders, killing 6 people. 13 other people were injured by gunfire and 1 person was injured while fleeing the scene of the shooting. Giffords, the apparent target of the attack, was shot in the head and left in critical condition. Once Jared was arrested, he was seen smirking and very happy. His response to police about the murders and why he committed them was, "I plead the fifth." Longner was charged in federal court with 1 count of attempted assassination of a member of Congress, 2 counts of murder of a federal employee, including Judge Roll, and 2 counts of attempting to murder a federal employee. He was indicted on 3 of the charges on January 19, 2011. Longner was held without bail in the Federal Correctional Institution at Phoenix, kept isolated from other inmates 23 hours a day, and allowed out of his cell for just 1 hour to shower and exercise. On February 24, 2011, he was transferred to the United States Penitentiary in Tucson. Jared Lee Longner, who shot former Representative Gabrielle Giffords in the head, killed 6 and wounded 12. Others in the 2011 Tucson rampage was sentenced to life in prison plus 140 years in federal prison. To those of you wondering, yes, he is still alive. Also, Representative Gabrielle Giffords has also survived the attempted assassination on her life. This, though, has left her impaired as the shot affected her language and speech ability. What do you guys think of this gruesome crime? I personally don't understand how common this pattern feels in everyday life where seemingly normal people give in to their intrusive thoughts. Last but not least, we have number 3, the one that truly, I believe almost everyone in the YouTube community, if you're at least 21 years old like I am, has definitely heard about. The name, Trey Eric Seltzer. Trey Eric Seltzer was known on YouTube for his funny content and even sometimes endearingly named Mr. Anime. He had helped the anime community grow substantially on YouTube. He started his account in 2006. I remember his content on YouTube growing up, and I must say I was shocked that the person I once thought I knew on YouTube turned into a murderer. It's honestly very disappointing, and I'm not gonna lie to you, for a very long time I wondered what happened to him, but I couldn't remember his name until this article popped up. Within the 5 years of creating his YouTube, he uploaded 323 videos and gathered almost 3 million followers and around 450 million views on his channel. He was known for his straightforward and to-the-point nature. So, what changed? Well, soon his content on YouTube started to not be so funny or friendly. He started getting into true crime, which is fine, except now he made videos about the Columbine shooting, his obsession with serial killers, and even expressing interest in topics around animal abuse and horde crimes. Soon he started to film videos of himself shooting himself or random buildings with a real gun. When I said he films himself shooting himself, obviously he's not actually shooting himself, but he is actually shooting those buildings. In February 2012, Trey posted a video called Mr. Anime is Planning Something. He said he's taking a 2 to 3 week hiatus to reward himself, though we didn't know what that meant. Then on March 2012, he posted a video talking about a new job and how excited he was. He would then tell his followers he probably wouldn't be able to upload as much as he'll be busy. Little did we know what events were soon to follow. In the early morning of March 20th, 2012, Trey lured his mom, Rhonda, to the garage of their house and shot her 4 times with a shotgun. He then entered the house and shot his brother, Mark, twice, but Mark did not die instantly and ran off to lock himself in the bathroom. Trey shot at the bathroom door mindlessly until a door burst open and he saw Mark lying dead with his blood all over the floor. He then found his father, Lawton, in the living room. Lawton had just woken up from the sounds of gunshots. Trey shot him as well. One of Trey's friends later stated that there was usually a lot of tension between Trey and his father. However, people assumed that it was mainly because of his drug use, binge-watching murders, and his obsession with violence. Trey said in an interview with police that after killing his family members, he went back and shot everybody in the head because he wasn't sure if they were actually dead. He did not want them to feel pain. His statements were extremely disturbing and showed clear signs of demented behavior. In addition, he destroyed every piece of furniture in the house, including decorations and wardrobes. Around 2 a.m., Trey sent a very calm voice message from his parents' phone saying that they won't show up for work the next day because they are dead. He wrote all over the walls and doors of the house, and some of the messages said, "I will never forgive myself. I don't know why I did this." After this, he went back to the garage where his mom was lying dead and slept next to her body. In some of the interviews with police, he confessed to his crimes regretfully and showed remorse for his actions. After killing his family members, Trey carried all the weapons and 100 rounds of ammunition to his old high school, Waller High School. His original plan was to kill students at his school and become the biggest mass murderer in history. However, he only killed his family first so they wouldn't know about the shooting spree and feel sorry for Trey's action. But he dropped the school shooting idea and went to his friend's house, where the police arrested him after a 48-hour manhunt. When the officer asked him why he did it, he would start weeping at times, accepting his actions. Other times he seemed zoned out, as if it wasn't the same person who had murdered his family. Eventually, he confessed to everything, including the fact that he had been planning everything for years. Investigations had previously said that Seltzer claimed to have killed his family because he didn't want them to be ashamed of what he was about to do. But he reportedly changed his story several times during the police interview. He didn't want his family to see him commit a mass murder. Police found weapons in his college dorm room where he had spent all of his time planning the shooting ever since he graduated high school. On August 2nd, 2012, Trey Seltzer, aka Mr. Anime, pleaded guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. However, he showed contentment to being behind bars, saying he accepted that it was where he deserved to be. Seltzer later told police it was around this time that he began killing animals and small fires for fun. He even posted a video on Facebook saying that his pet rabbit had gone missing, which poses the sinister question of if he slaughtered the animal himself. He is still in prison today. I feel like help should have been given to him at a young age if there was always tension between his dad and him, also like the drug use, but then again, I feel like a lot of people aren't equipped to know the warning signs, and because you live with someone, I feel like it's easier to miss those warning signs because you don't want it to be true. What do you guys think of these three killers? Is there redemption for any of them, or is it truly too late? As always, I welcome and thank every single one of you on my page, and any feedback and constructive criticism is welcomed. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay sunny!